Episode 9 of Spartacus' House of Ashur opens on a grim note with Caladus' body being brought back into the Ludus. The mood is heavy, the men are clearly shaken, but Ashur seems less mournful and more irritated, like the loss is just another problem added to an already growing pile. Caesar's wife immediately confronts Ashur over the marriage arrangement between Viridia and Pompey. She accuses him of interfering with her plans to marry Viridia off to one of Caesar's associates and questions whether Ashur's loyalty to Crassus outweighs his feelings for Viridia. Ashur insists that if Pompey marries Viridia, Gabinius becomes permanently aligned with Pompey against their will. Caesar's wife decides Crassus must be alerted. Tarchon shares a moment with Chorus over his father's death. He asks to be the one to cleanse Caladus' body, blaming himself for what happened, and perhaps he is to blame. Achillia also confronts Chorus, demanding to know who killed Caladus and promising blood regardless of who was responsible. She's denied the right to say goodbye alone, as Tarchon has full claim until the funeral. Achillia is clearly burdened by guilt for not mending things with Tarchon before Caladus' death, but Chorus urges her to move forward. Tarchon cleanses his father's body and remembers the encouragement Caladus once gave him. The funeral follows, and Caladus is burned as his son, lover, and brothers watch on. Afterward, Achillia trains with a level of vigor and intensity that we have not yet seen from her before. Chorus notes her form has returned, and she admits the pain is still there, but now she has purpose. Both she and Chorus watch Tarchon, and the tension between them is clear. Personally, I do not see Caladus' death as Tarchon's fault. He did what champions have always done: fight for dominance. This is exactly why the arena and family does not mix. Caladus fell because he tried to love both his son and Achillia. And as Crixus once said, love makes a man weak before battle. Ashur learns that Pompey and Caesar are arriving in Capua, which clearly rattles him. Casutra warns Viridia about who Pompey truly is, stressing that this marriage may be necessary for her protection, especially with political threats like Servius, her father's uncle, lurking in the shadows. Viridia wants to know more about Pompey as a man, not as the myth or the legend, and the pressure is clearly mounting. When Pompey arrives, the entire city gathers. He's confident, arrogant, and immediately begins sizing everyone up. He tells Ashur that Crassus has spoken to him of his gladiatrix, Achillia. Gabinius and Pompey talk politics, revealing deep ideological rifts between Pompey and Crassus. Caesar corners Ashur alone and threatens him, saying he only lives because of Crassus' patronage. He offers Ashur a deal: kill Gabinius, and Caesar will support rebuilding the arena. If Ashur doesn't, Crassus will withdraw his protection. Ashur is now being forced to choose between love and legacy. Gabinius tries to broker peace with Pompey, offering political favors in exchange for protecting his daughter. Pompey agrees to the marriage and speaks openly about wanting children, moving fast and showing how desperate he is to secure his bloodline. Achillia and Tarchon clash again, and Achillia claims the right to avenge Caladus does not belong to him. I disagree with that completely. No matter what happened between the two of them, Caladus is still his father. If anyone deserves vengeance, it is Tarchon. But Achillia is champion, so the right technically falls to her unless Tarchon defeats her. Pompey visits Ashur's Ludus and demands to see Achillia fight. She insists on facing Tarchon with real steel. The fight is intense and evenly matched. Achillia gains the upper hand eventually, and Pompey gives her permission to kill Tarchon. Instead, out of love for Caladus, she spares him. This moment completely breaks Tarchon. He is humiliated, defeated, and left alive by a woman who continues to overshadow him. At this point, killing Tarchon will feel hollow. He's already lost everything. It'd be like killing a lion with no claws. He literally looks almost like a little puppy at the end of her spear. You had opportunity after opportunity, and you just can't pull through. I don't know what else to tell you at this point. At this point, maybe it would be better for you to just simply sit at the sidelines, you know? Pompey then demands Achillia be sent to him, clearly pleased with her performance. Ashur had earlier requested a vial of opium through Halara and Messia, and now it becomes clear why. Pompey and Achillia speak privately, and here we learn that her father sold her into slavery at the hands of the Romans to spare her life after she had accidentally killed her family member, which would be a death sentence in her country. Therefore, selling her into slavery to the Romans was a way to actually spare her life. Pompey openly fetishizes Achillia, but Achillia handles it with surprising composure. Meanwhile, Tarchon stands at the cliff, grieving. Chorus comforts him, telling him that even Athena would have been a worthy woman in Caladus' eyes for his son. Chorus urges Tarchon to help rebuild Achillia into a champion for the upcoming battles. Gabinius arrives at Ashur's Ludus after being summoned by Pompey. This is the moment Ashur is supposed to kill him. Instead, Gabinius speaks kindly, reminding Ashur how much Viridia cares for him. Then everything collapses. Gabinius walks in on Pompey in bed with Achillia. Pompey, drugged by the opium, stumbles out confused. He draws his sword and strikes Gabinius. Chaos erupts. Pompey and Caesar flee. Gabinius survives the wound, gasping that Viridia will know the truth as Ashur let it slip that he did not intend for this to happen. And unfortunately, Gabinius was not yet dead. As Gabinius strikes back to life, Ashur has to suffocate the fleeting life out of the man's lungs. This entire moment, I'll be honest, I was on my feet. It reminded me of when Alithia killed that one Roman woman, that one woman who was she married to? She was married to some popular wealthy Roman, and she wanted to lay down with Spartacus, and Alithia wanted to lay down with Crixus, and Lucretia ends up switching them. It really reminded me of that. You can see Ashur trying to implement strategies that he's learned from others, from Blood and Sand and shit like that. I really enjoy it. It's like he's trying to be that guy, but he's just not quite that guy. So this is the turning point. Ashur kills the father of the woman he loves. His hands are finally soaked in innocent blood. Gabinius is gone. Viridia is effectively orphaned. Servius now gains power. The marriage is destroyed, and Ashur has crossed a line that he cannot come back from. And I am so afraid that Viridia will learn the truth, and everything that he wants will finally slip cleanly through his fingers. This episode wasn't about strategy, guys. It was about collapse. Everything Ashur wants, power, legacy, the arena rebuilt, it's all fucking crumbling in front of him. He's lost Caladus, sacrificed Gabinius, endangered his dream woman, and aligned himself with monsters like Caesar and Pompey. The noose is certainly tightening around the neck of the Syrian. But let me know if you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll give it an 8.5, mainly because I was genuinely entertained when Pompey and the thing between Gabinius went down and Gabinius walks in. It was actually quite hilarious, quite entertaining. I really enjoyed it. But let me know what you guys thought, and I'll see you in the next one.